Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SaskatchewanWeather.ca podcast. I'm Joshua Zorn. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Apologize for the late start. We had some technical glitches here, and really some bizarre stuff's going on. Everything's been working against us getting this to get this on the air tonight, but we're finally up and going, and we have some great guests on tonight for you. So we're gonna start off. We're gonna get right into it since we're a little late getting started here. But Jesse Walters is a storm chaser out of the U.S. He's going to be joining us with his team via Skype. As well, we have Ethan Malnix, another storm chaser, as well as Katie Nymanen is going to be phoning in a little later on as well as a couple of others. So right away, we're going to start off with Jesse here, who was actually chasing this last Thursday. It was, and live streaming from Louisiana, I believe he was in, and trying to get some early season tornadoes there. So we're going to kind of get him to fill us in on what happened with that. So we're going to phone him up.
Hey Josh, how are you?
Pretty good, and yourself?
Yeah, we're doing great. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I think we could all hear you here. If somebody wants to just pop in the chat, make sure that anybody watching the live stream can see us. But yeah, I think we're good. Sorry for the delay there. We had some technical glitches that I've never really had before.
Hey, it's all good. We're used to that.
So,
Hey Josh.
hey.
Yeah, everybody, just to introduce you, who's going on? We got Mike Wardson, my videographer, over to my left, and Tammy King, my amazing driver, to the right.
Hello.
And we're all here ready to party with you.
Awesome. Well, so I was telling our viewers before we got going here that you guys were actually out chasing on Thursday. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on what you guys were out doing then.
Yeah, I was watching Thursday for at least 7 or 8 days in advance. The models were lined up pretty well. There's a lot of potential. So started discussing the forecast with Phil down in New Zealand, who's my lead forecaster for this whole thing. Sorry, it's my laundry. But yeah, we were starting to watch this. Let's see, I believe I have the day 7 or day 6 graphic here available. As you can see, over time, that the area just basically held steady over there in Louisiana, Mississippi region. So we decided to really go after it. Looked like a lot of potential. Velocities were just insane. The low-level shear was real good. It was a classic low cape, high shear setup. So, for Dixie Alley, those tend to produce some good tornadoes. And, after Hattiesburg, Georgia, and Hattiesburg, Mississippi, seeing those 2 tornadoes, it's obviously the potential is there, and we were anxious to get out. Finally, we chased already once the end of January in Carbondale, and so this is our second chase of the year in February, which is pretty exciting to get out there and just enjoy it. It was very difficult. We had a lot of technical issues with the internet thing. Some of you may know or may not know, chasing in Mississippi is very difficult because of the trees. The terrain isn't very forgiving. You can't really see very far, definitely in distance and whatnot. It's not like chasing in the plains, which is flat land. And all those trees and the terrain issues also create a lot of cell phone data issues. So we lost our service quite a bit, which was very difficult. And but then we also had a lot of technical issues with my wireless modem, so we couldn't really use my laptop, and I had to chase off my iPhone mostly. Mm-hmm. But we, with Phil's help, trying to keep in communication with us, and he was watching the 3D radar back home in New Zealand, and as well as we had Josh Cheney piping in every now and then, letting me know what's going on. So we had a lot of backup, which definitely helped out. I think we intercepted three separate warnings. We almost got number four, but it was a little too far. The road network isn't the greatest where we were, so we kind of just had to get ahead of the storm and wait and hope that if there was something coming that it would maintain and we could intercept it at that point. But the fourth one didn't pan out. But the last storm in the evening was almost like an accident for us. We were out of service. We were out of data, really. And we were just about ready to head back into town for the night and call it a day. And we saw this supercell just forming off to the west. It has beautiful, beautiful inflow band. And I'll try to pull up a picture here. Yeah. As you can see, there's a beautiful inflow tail going right into the meso. And we couldn't help but just have to sit there and wait. I mean, it's coming right at us. And it was just perfect setup. And as it got closer and closer, you could definitely see rotation, albeit broad. It was definitely there. So the mesocyclone was definitely well established and more surface based, which was encouraging. So past about 50 yards in front of us, I'd say halfway down, about halfway down, broad rotating wall cloud passed right in front of us, maybe 50 yards. It was truly amazing. I've seen so many tornadoes, but I don't know, something about that experience right there was just awe-inspiring. I was just amazed. I was, I was in heaven, really. So, we enjoyed that moment, and fortunately, it lifted as it continued east. But they did issue a tornado warning, and they had a tornado warning on it for at least an hour after that point. But we were on the Louisiana side of the Mississippi River there. And every bridge that connects Louisiana and Mississippi tends to have a city, of some magnitude. So, it's heavy rain. These things are HP, and everybody's driving slow, and we're at the mercy of traffic. So we couldn't get across the bridge fast enough to chase it, even if we wanted to. Maybe if we had intercepted on the Louisiana side, that would have been great. But just experiencing that on the Mississippi side, that was good enough for me, and that kind of made the whole chase pretty special, really.
Yeah, we have a
That
couple
was our
of.
chase experience, and then we went to a restaurant and enjoyed the evening. So.
But I gotta say, their warning systems are fantastic down there on the cell phones. Each time we got close to something, my phone was just buzzing away, and it was right on the money. It took us right by where we needed to be.
Yeah, I think that's something that you and I, Jesse, I think talked about on Tuesday, and you, I, and Phil a little bit is the warning systems. And so, where do you guys find, in your experience in the U.S. in particular, uh, is kind of the weak spots for those warning systems to be in place?
Well, when we chased, like I said, we hit three tornado warning storms. And of those three warnings, we never heard any tornado sirens anywhere. There was not one time where we heard any alerts, any warnings going out.
No, there's only cell phone alerts. Cell phone alerts only to my phone.
Yeah, not all cell phones either. I never got anything from it, neither did Justice. So.
Right.
But mine were right on the money just for whatever reason.
Mike's cell phone actually got warnings before a radar scope displayed it on the map. So radar scope, we're going to be talking about that. But Mike's cell phone actually got us warnings about 5 minutes ahead of radar scope displaying it onto the map. And that kind of helped us out a little bit when we had data. So,
yeah, it was quite surprising.
But definitely no sirens, which is why I want to get that siren on the vehicle, because we were there on three tornado warnings and nobody had a clue, that there was a potential for a tornado to drop in that area. And that's scary. That's, you don't see that up here in Northeast Illinois. It's Richville up here. Every town can afford a tornado siren, but down there, that's not the case at all. And even with the trees, you have to install twice as many sirens because trees block sound. So it's really difficult to get the warning out that way. And we really want to get that siren going on the vehicle so we can do it ourselves and get ahead of the storm and let the people know that there's a serious potential coming their way.
Absolutely.
So you guys, maybe for those of our viewers who aren't quite so familiar with you guys, but maybe you could give us a little background on you guys as a team. Some of your experiences, maybe.
Well, I usually chase alone. I chased alone for the first 14, 15 years of doing this. And it was when I started getting all the gizmos and gadgets installed in the vehicle and chasing April 14th, 2012 on my own. That I realized that it's just too much. I'm sitting there trying to type on a laptop, look up the yard, work GPS, and try not to drive off, a cliff or into the ditch, in HV Supercell. It was a quick day. And at that point, I decided I need help doing this. I need somebody to drive the car because, driving alone is a very serious, task, especially when you have to punch holes, and that's what I had to do. And it's just too much. And then also take pictures and, document it through, taking camera pictures or video, what have you. I really want to help with that. So I kind of put the word out on Facebook a little bit. And a little while after that, Mike had contacted me and said, Tammy's really into storms and would probably be interested in doing that kind of stuff. So Tammy and I went out one day after some dental work and stuff. I'm from blood, right? My dentist said, don't chase it. It's not going to work. So I got puzzling my mouth, coming out. Tammy's in the car. I hope I'm not freaking out, but, we got to go to this Father's Day, let's go. So that was the first experience. We chased all the way to Milwaukee and back, just like a local chase. And she drove sensationally, for the first time, just getting behind the wheel of the Trailblazer, which isn't her favorite vehicle to drive, really.
Not quite. A little bit different than what I used to.
Yeah. She did great, and she's just improved ever since then. And yes, chasing Thursday on a tornado warning storm just on the west side of Mississippi, the one we were talking about earlier, she was just, she was on, and she really owned that truck, and she got us, where we needed to be. When I said turn around, no turn around, we got going. All the structures, So she's a great driver to have. And Mike, he's got this awesome camera set up. He's got, 3D going now. And I couldn't ask for anybody better. He documents the storm way better than I ever could with stuff I had, So it's great to have him to really document this HD and 3D and to get the video. And it's great to have that media section as well, so we can also use that to, sell the rights for, the local media, national media, the world media, hopefully. And to see what, these storms are capable of. Because with how you can see, all across the world, they don't really understand. They may not get that storm every spring, like the plane.
Can I just interject here, Jesse?
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Can I just get you to turn off your video on Skype? You're kind of breaking up, so I'm thinking it might be a connection issue.
Okay.
There, we'll give that a try.
All right.
It didn't.
I forgot what to say.
Yeah, sorry about that. It just seemed to be really fuzzy, and so I didn't know if anybody was getting that through very clearly.
No, that's all right. But yeah, we're just trying to basically, create awareness and get the warning out. That's kind of our main goals. We really want to get. We have big plans, big dreams, and we're hoping that we can get this done this year, and just not to make a name for ourselves, but to really, save lives and get the warning out. That's the main goal here. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, what is for, I guess, any one of you guys, what has been the biggest, how should I put this, closest experience that you've had, say, with a tornado or a severe warned storm of any type?
Ooh, that's tricky.
I don't know. One time.
I think the one
Gas
down.
station.
Well, there's that, and then there's down south, and we're hitting the microbursts across the field, which blew the entire field into our eyes with no eye protection. That was quite interesting. It also resulted in getting a upstroke, which Tim Samaras actually commented on.
Lightning upstroke.
You can find it on Jesse's YouTube channel, and I believe he tweeted that, right?
Yeah, I think it's on Facebook as well.
Facebook or Twitter. But yeah,
It's definitely on my Twitter account.
That was one of my personal favorites. We got a lot of wind, a lot of lightning, a lot of 3D shots and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was probably that was a chase we were actually going against Reed Zimmer. He was on the same supercell. It was just east of Kewanee, Illinois, which is like north of Peoria just a little bit. And it was looking good. But yeah, because it was kind of a dry season, we had a lot of dirt just kicked up by the outflow winds coming out ahead of it. And you could see off in the distance the farm equipment that would spray water in the fields, and you can just see as they were spraying water, it just go the opposite direction of where it was trying to go, and that was insane winds. I think they had about 70 miles.
80. We hit 82 on the peak, and I said maybe we should re-enter the vehicle. As Tammy was out looking for lightning shots. That's all the subjects in the field.
Sit down.
We like to have fun, that's for sure. We enjoy every storm, whether it be a tornado producer or just a straight line wind event, outflow dominant. We obviously tornado is the grand prize. But we'll go chase wave action on the south end of Lake Michigan just to see hopefully some giant waves. We'll take nature in any form, really, and we just enjoy it. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think if you asked any kind of storm chaser or meteorologist, they'd probably say a similar thing, like you said.
Yeah, with the tornado being the grand prize, but just enjoy nature.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
that was also pretty decent when we set it on Michigan. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we got a lot of wind and weather coming in from that.
That was the backside of Hurricane Sandy, or Superstorm Sandy at that point, that we were on the south end of Lake Michigan. And you had those strong northerlies, and they just came right down the whole lake, And out like mid-Lake Bowie, it was saying 20 footers, I believe. Mm-hmm. We didn't see it quite that high, but we still saw some great wave action, and we just enjoyed it, It was cold, it was crazy cold, but to experience that kind of wind coming at you and to see that kind of waves, from such a powerful storm, it's still, way off on the East Coast. We'll take it, that's better than getting buried in the East Coast, so we'll stay here and enjoy the winds.
It's actually a lot of fun, just hiding behind the little sand dunes, trying to get all the video shots. My hand is completely numb.
Yeah, good times.
All right, so we have, we're going to bring in our next guest. Are you guys cool to stay on for a little bit longer here to talk to our next guest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm in. Well, the more the merrier. Let's party.
And so I think, Jesse, if I'm not mistaken, you actually know this guest. JC Storm Chaser is his name on Twitter.
Yes, Josh, he's the man. Good guy.
So we're going to invite him to the call here.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
Hello, Josh. Are you there? Oh, I think we just had a connection issue here. That's very bizarre. So anyways, just stand by as we try to reconnect there. Hello.
Here.
Jesse, can you hear me? Jesse, are you there? Okay, we had a connection issue there. Unable to talk with Jesse and Josh, but we'll try and maybe bring them back in a little later in the show. For now, though, we're gonna try and okay, here we go. Hello. Yeah, if you guys could hear me, I think we're having an issue on Josh's end there. He warned me actually ahead of time that his internet connection isn't that great, and we actually didn't have a chance to try this out beforehand. So, yeah, we seem to have lost him. So, we're gonna move on, and maybe we'll come back here. Josh, if you're watching, feel free to interject through the chat, continue to interact in the chat. Sorry that we couldn't get that call going through, but we're unable to connect with you. And we're going to have to try and work that out maybe for next time. We'll try and get something else set up that we can call you. But we're going to call, I'm going to call my regular co-host, Katie Nymanen. Who is from Regina as a photographer and weather lover. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. We kind of been a wild. This 42 minutes has been actually only been about 20 minutes of on-air time. It's supposed to be 42 by now, but
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't know what was going on. It seems like 1 week we get it perfect, and the next week we have some new problem, and we were unable to connect with our last guest there, so we're moving on. But somebody just went on the chat and said, "Woo, Katie!" So you're kind of the person I like to talk about our weather in Saskatchewan with, since you live here as well.
Yes.
Today, you said, actually, I saw a post from you that it was like a beautiful day out, and I actually fortunately got out to do that too, to enjoy it too. But what do you think of this continued roller coaster? We keep talking about this. Now it seems to finally have leveled out a bit.
Oh, well, I'm happy, obviously. It's great weather to go out and still enjoy winter and have the snow and be able to do winter activities like, skiing or walking or whatever. But it's definitely more, more enjoyable. And I'm glad that we're kind of in the last few weeks of winter, hopefully, anyways, and that it starts to continuously get warmer.
Yeah, and now we're actually getting to near the end of February, sorry, and getting into that March. Do you think we've seen the end of snow?
I hope so. I hope so. The piles are getting pretty big. There might be a few. I wouldn't be surprised if there was not a lot more snow, but a few more dumps left in Saskatchewan. But I really hope that there's not a big dump, and I think that we're getting over the last few weeks of winter here.
Yeah, definitely. And I think now, looking at the long kind of range forecast, I think as far as temperatures, we are leveling out, so that's encouraging. But yeah, we'll kind of have to wait and see how that all plays out. So we're gonna try to bring back Jesse Walters here. From the U.S. We got disconnected for a second there, and he said he got disconnected too, but I think he's back on. The wonders of technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thanks everybody for bearing with us here. Hello, Jesse. Jesse, if you can hear me, if you can just turn off your video. We're in a conference call with Katie now. Okay, we're gonna get that sorted out with Jesse right away here. So what have you been up to over the last few uh, days as far as photography? Now that it's been kind of warm, have you been getting out, being able to get some shots? I know you posted one on Twitter tonight. I didn't get a chance to look at it actually, but
Yeah, actually, I've started today. I went out and took a whole bunch of shots that I'll post later tonight. I haven't been able to get out as much as I wanted to because it's been so cold, but today it was so beautiful. I went outside and I took pictures of the snow and trees and nature in general. So I'll post those later on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
awesome. And actually, I just got on Instagram about a week ago, and I've been trying to get the hang of that. And if you want to follow me, it's the same as my Twitter name at Joshua Zorn underscore SKWX. And Katie's is just her name, Katie Nyman, on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for us, just submit them through the live chat. We have some cool new things that we've released on the website over the last few days here, and we have our new members area up and running. So if you want to join our member group, you can do that right on saskatchewanweather.ca. And that's the other thing I should point out. We also our name has changed slightly to just be saskatchewanweather.ca, so you can get direct access to our website through that. And if you become a member, you can submit your own photos and videos. You can upload your own photos to the website, and then you can also kind of submit links to your own YouTube videos in the members video library on there as well, so be sure to check that out. So we're gonna bring Jesse Walters back in here now. Hello, Jesse.
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sweet. Sorry about all that. My
Nope.
fault.
No problem. We're learning as we're going here. Thanks for everybody for bearing with us here. So yeah, we're going to. Are you guys cool with bringing in our other guests? I know we have a lot of guests, but we're in demand here actually this week, which is really fun.
Absolutely.
Ethan Malnix is a storm chaser out of Leslie in the United States, and we're going to bring him in. And hello to Stario on the live chat. Sorry if I said that wrong. I have really small font on my computer here. Hello, Ethan.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Can everybody else?
Yeah, he sounds great. What's up, Ethan?
Pretty good. Just sitting here watching the weather.
Shocker.
Yeah, right?
So, Ethan, glad to finally be able to have you on the podcast tonight. Why don't you give...
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. I usually do this. I did this to Jesse before when he was first on. I've done this to Katie. Now it's your turn to give us a little bit of background info on yourself.
Well, I've been chasing for only like a couple years now. I went to in Indiana March 2nd, 2012, and March 3rd. There was the F4 that hit Henrysville, Indiana. I was chasing that. I didn't get any pictures because I was solo. But I do have some video. Let's see. I went to got the blizzard of 2013 here in Boston. I was up in Boston for just a day and got some footage and some pictures of that. It got really insane up there. And that's really about it. I'm kind of a novice storm chaser, to be honest.
So,
Nothing wrong with that.
What?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm learning as I'm going, trying to figure out everything, you know?
yeah,
Good.
that's really all you can ask of yourself, is to just be learning from experience, eh?
Thank you. I try to learn from the best, you know? You got you guys, and I got Reed Timmer and whatnot.
Uh-oh.
So, if anybody has any questions for Ethan, Jesse, Katie, or myself, you can do that through the live chat. Um, and so, Ethan, what has been, what do you, in your opinion, from your kind of knowledge and stuff of weather, what is your favorite? What would be your dream geographical location to chase? Would it be in the U.S., and if so, what part of the U.S.?
If I were to chase anywhere, it would most likely be Tornado Alley, kind of Oklahoma area, because I feel like that's where most of the good tornadoes would be at if any were to produce.
Right. So, Katie, did you have any questions here for any of these guys?
Well, I don't have any right now, but I will come up with some.
Ethan, by the way, we should say, how can people follow you on social media?
I didn't hear that. You have to say that one more time.
Oh, sorry. What is your? How can people follow you on Twitter?
They can just follow me on Twitter, just username Tornado Chaser 91.
Sweet. And you can also check Jesse out on Twitter at JW Severe Weather. And Jesse, why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about some of the things you've been doing with, like, your plans for this upcoming chase season?
Yeah, we have a lot of big plans and ideas. Hopefully, the big thing is getting a siren on the vehicle so we can offer warnings on our own ahead of time to those communities that don't have tornado sirens involved. Not everybody's going to be watching TV, or not everybody has a NOAA weather radio. So we need to really be more aggressive as a chase team, and to get that, just that initial warning out, that in a community that there's something coming their way. If we're tracking a large violent tornado and we see it coming into such and such town, I want to race ahead into that town, get on that siren, get on the PA system, and let people know verbally that there is a tornado on the ground and it is coming into their community and they need to take shelter immediately. That's the big thing. The second, and also through communicate, we'll communicate also with National Weather Service so that they also issue their warnings. But like I said, not everybody's on TV and they're not on the weather radio, so that's a big thing for us. We're trying to gain sponsorships and funds and whatnot that way, just to get this whole thing to really take fruit and to become more productive. The really big thing I want to do is to have a follow team, a immediate response team that follows us in a chase, and they'll have food, supplies, blankets, weather radios, even, I don't know, whatever, non-perishable foods, whatever we can offer to help these communities that are immediately affected by a tornado, or even a derecho event, perhaps. If I can have a team that also goes and does first response and helps in search and rescue, that would be great to have along. And we will continue to track that tornado while they hang back and help the community, because you don't know how many other communities are about to be affected by that same tornado, or another tornado perhaps. So we want to really make sure that we get the warning out as best as possible, so we can hopefully get people underground to take shelter and to save lives ultimately, and definitely avoid injuries. We can't stop these things, so all we can do is try to let people know what is coming. We also have a lot of plans for research and whatnot, and to really to document tornadoes and how strong they are visually. But we really can't talk about the details of that yet. But we have big ideas, and hopefully we can make that take fruit. It's all experimental. It's something that's never been done before by anybody that we can find on the internet. So it's risky. It may not work, but we're hoping that it does, and that we can provide research so that scientists and others can, help develop to build stronger homes, and also, to understand how strong these tornadoes truly are at the surface. So we're actively seeking that research, and I think just also getting that epic video from as close as we can safely of a tornado to document it, and to also use that for research, and also to get the word out of how strong and how violent these things are. And if we can get up close and personal and really just get these things on video in multiple formats, I think that's going to be beneficial for just research and for getting awareness out. We want to make a documentary, or kind of an educational video, really, for like elementary kids and high school kids, even, just of the dangers of severe weather. Not that these things are always violent and deadly. They're beautiful storms, and they have beautiful things that occur in nature, but they can also be very destructive. If you get caught in a tornado, or the derecho event, or even a large hail event back in what was it, 1979, I believe, in Dallas, where it just took everything out, from large hail. And these events happen, and even hurricanes. We plan to get out there and intercept hurricanes and do research in that environment, and also awareness, and get those videos. And that we have a lot of big plans for this year. We're trying to raise the funds, and hopefully we can make these dreams become reality, and help the whole research community out, and definitely help save lives. That's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely, and I just like to add that from my point of view as the videographer, as the technology and the resolution increases on TVs, and as more people get 3D TVs, we're currently filming in 3D, but we're looking to go above and beyond 1080p into the 4K resolution and beyond, depending. I know Apple has the Retina display. Samsung is coming out with a couple displays that are high resolution, as well as the Chrome book is going to be high resolution. So we're looking to start filming at higher resolution so we can document it more. Also high speed footage in different speeds, so we can sort of really break down what's happening as we're seeing it. And we just want to get more of that stuff on film so we can show you guys what it's like out there. You can get a better feel of what it's really like.
Anybody got any comments about that, Katie or Ethan?
Well, talking about the storm chaser, the car that follows you, that's a very great idea. I just like to point that out.
Yeah, we want to do something, that kind of crosses TVN with the First Response Team of America, like the Weather Channel has. Because let's be honest, some of these communities, out in the middle of nowhere, they don't really have funds, and they don't have the best of the best like you would in, say, Chicago or LA or something, where they just have everything. There's a lot of people out there that live in the middle of nowhere and need immediate relief, and they need food and shelter, and just a hug, And that's what I want to bring down there, not just go beyond storm chasing. There's plenty of storm chasers, but I want to start, raising that bar. I'd like to see us all do this, really, and network together as a huge JW severe weather team, and just, save lives as a group, That's my ultimate goal.
So I have a question here on the live chat, and I'm going to kind of throw it to all you guys as a panel, sort of. Somebody asking kind of wondering what the history of storm chasing is. Does anybody want to take a shot at that, or you want me just to read from Wikipedia?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm not a history buff, so
I'm going with Wikipedia on this one.
I can tell you why I storm chase and who influenced me, but I know storm chasing goes back way beyond any of us were born. So go ahead and give us a wiki idea.
The wiki idea, okay. Let me just find it here. The first recognized storm chaser was a man named David Hoadley. who began chasing storms in North Dakota in 1956, systematically using data from area weather offices, and he is widely considered as the pioneer storm chaser, and he was the founder of Storm Track magazine. Has anybody ever heard of that?
No, that's interesting.
Nope.
That's very interesting.
So I'm looking up Storm Track magazine now. Was the first magazine for and about storm chasing. It was an informal meeting of storm chasers. Oh, it was published following an informal meeting of storm chasers at an American Meteorological Society conference. But back to the history of storm chasing. Yeah, it's something that, and I have read before, is something that started many years ago, but over really the last 10, 15 years has grown widely, not just in interest, but also in the successfulness of it due to advances in weather models and mobile data coverage as well.
Yeah, I mean, anybody with a cell phone and a camera built in nowadays can get in a car and go chase a storm. It's really it's almost too easy.
Kind of what I have right now, iPhone.
So yeah, thanks for that great question. And if anybody else has any other questions, you can submit those on the chat, or you can tweet them to me on Twitter at @JoshuaZorin_SKWX. So Katie, I've given you a bit of time now. Is there anything you wanted to ask?
Well, I just wanted to ask Ethan, what was the greatest storm you've ever chased or seen, taken pictures of, or taken a video of?
Well, the greatest experience I probably had was the blizzard of 2013 at the Northeast, because it's really the only storm that I was actually like in, and it was just so much snow. And then on top of that, the snowfall rate was like 6 inches somewhere down near Connecticut.
Oh, very interesting.
Thank you. Other than that, it was probably the March 3rd tornado outbreak in the central area, and I was near Henrysville, Indiana, and it just destroyed the whole town. It was an F4, and that one was probably the most. Yeah, that one was probably the most like emotional one, because I saw everything destroyed. There's buses just flipped and everything. It was pretty emotional.
Oh, yeah, that brings up something else. Like, Jesse, like you chase all these tornadoes and all these storms. How do you deal with the emotional aspects of seeing all the destruction and things of everything surrounding you?
Well, it's not easy. You know, I've seen some pretty bad stuff out there in doing this, especially since it was 2004 when I started getting really into tornado chasing. Yeah, I you know, I don't want to get into details about stuff, but I've definitely seen some things that, you know, I hope nobody else has to see. Really, it's there's a lot of heartbreaking scenes. You know, to see somebody lose their home is, you know, that you never feel good about that. You know, there's a lot of high energy, obviously, while you're chasing tornadoes, but when you see it go into a town and you don't hear tornado sirens going off, that changes my perspective. You know, and
For sure.
I don't know, when I saw Hattiesburg this year. You know, and I'm watching the Base Hunters video of Hattiesburg, and you know, he's at the beginning of the video, he's talking to the 911 dispatcher, and he's saying, you know, I don't hear the tornado sirens going off, and I don't believe the tornado sirens went off until it was halfway through town or all the way through the community, and that's heartbreaking. You know, they had the technology and they didn't use it. You know, you know, I brought up earlier, there's a lot of towns that don't have these sirens, but there's also a lot of towns that do have these sirens, and they're reluctant to use them. And there's kind of an understanding that because if you cry wolf too many times, people will become complacent. And I understand that. But when you have somebody on the phone saying, I am tracking a tornado and is headed into such and such a town, there's no reason to not sound that siren. You know, you got to take that risk. It's worth it. It might be a 50-50 chance. They could be prank calling, sure. But you know what? If that's going to save lives either way. So that's my whole opinion on it, you know.
We are back live once again. Sorry everybody for that little glitch. Not sure what happened there. We're just all of a sudden offline, and I didn't get any warning except from the live stream. So, alrighty. So back to what we were talking about camera gear. Sorry, I'll let you get back to that.
Yeah, so Mike is my videographer and photographer. He's a primary Team Phoenix member. So I'm going to let him kind of describe what he uses for gear, to what his comfortable level of extent is. And take it away.
All right. Well, basically, what we started out with here, shooting with, was a Canon, an older Canon, and the highest resolution we could pull out of that for video was 480p. We want to upgrade from that. So I started shooting with an HTC Evo 3D, which allows me to shoot 3D in 720p, or I can shoot just standard 720p video on that. Just recently, I upgraded to a Polaroid. I don't remember the model number, but that actually allows me to shoot in, I believe, 18 megapixels. So then I can take whatever pictures and, you know, get a lot more detail out of them. The video that it shoots is 720p, 30 frames per second. So if we catch something quite interesting on it, on the video, we can pull frames from it. We can slow it down and take a better look at what's going on. In the future, I'm hoping to go to something like a GoPro that can shoot in higher resolutions like 4K and stuff like that. But basically right now we have at least 3 to 4 cameras with us at all times just in case. Try to make sure we have enough batteries so you're not running out in the middle of the chase or whatever. Our biggest problem really when we're out on the road right now is just getting the video and being able to get it out there, live streaming and stuff like that.
So what do you guys kind of like about the ability of being able to live stream? Is it just being able to send awareness for the people living in that area, or what's kind of your main motivation for doing that sort of thing?
For me personally, I enjoy that aspect of it, but it's also nice to know that you have an audience with you. You feel like you got some people with you. You know, when you're in the middle of the thick of the stuff, you got a whole, you know, you sort of got like a whole crew behind you just watching and seeing what's going on. And they can see it in real time, how we react to it and stuff like that. So that would probably be my favorite aspect of the live streaming.
Jesse, how about you?
Jesse, we have a question for you.
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
We're talking about live streaming. What's your favorite aspect of the live streaming?
Well, the favorite aspect for me is just getting the visual alert out there that, you know, something's going on. It also shows kind of the reality of how storm chasing is for us. You know, we have a camera that looks in and, you know, shows Tammy, Mike, and I, you know, and what we're doing. We also have the main pictures looking out, you know, the front or wherever I point the camera, so it can, you know, look at what we're looking at. We had terrible troubles in Mississippi, Alabama, like I said, with the internet connection. So we maybe live streamed, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time, and then we'd lose service and stuff. So we're definitely planning to get a cell phone booster, which is an experimental thing, but I've heard 2 chasers just rave about it. Scott McPartland out in New York City and Jason Brand down in Mississippi. and they both rave about the thing. And you know, if we're going to be chasing Dixie Alley, we need that thing. I've never had such poor data connections ever chasing down there. It was truly amazing to me. You know, I did not expect to have that low quality that we had, but I guess I just picked the right spot to have the worst cell phone coverage ever, and that kind of cost us, you know, the chase a little bit, but you know, it still paid off in the end. But definitely the live stream, I think, is good to just kind of show what we do. I know some classes locally tune in and watch us and kind of see what we do, and they're excited about us storm chasing. And we've done some Skype interviews with those classes, and I'm also doing I'll be bringing my chase vehicle to a school in Round Lake to display, you know, the vehicle and what storm chasing is like and why we're out there and what we do.
And also, I just like to add, Timmy wanted me to mention, we do have a head-mounted 720p display, so you can see from the driver's point of view. We're going to start putting that into play as we get the lab, because right now we're a little bit overloaded on our what we're trying to run on our limited laptop capability and processing power. But we actually do have another camera that's mounted to Tammy, so you can see actually from the driver's point of view in HD, and we would like to start live broadcasting that, but we're still working the details of that out right now. She actually constructed that herself. So we're very interested in getting that going.
Very cool. Well, I look forward to seeing that. Was it Ethan? Did you have any questions about that, or anything you wanted to add?
Well, the one thing I have is the instruments on top of my car. It's the Davis instruments. I'm pretty sure Jesse has the same thing.
The Davis Vantage View from Ambient Weather.
Yeah, that.
Yes, sir. I'm a geek. Yeah, it's a great thing, man. I've had it on there about a year now, and it's held up. I don't know how many thousands of miles. It holds up to extreme conditions, hot, cold, whatever you bring it. It's a great toy. You know, that's what we use to input to the RPM and the REP models to the SPC. So it's a pretty sweet device. You know, definitely accurate, and it's worth the money if you can get it.
It definitely is. It works very well. Other than that, I use a video camera and my iPhone. It's really about it, and my laptop.
The iPhone takes great pictures, honestly.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I was actually quite surprised because I've never been, you know, an Apple fan per se, but I was looking at Jesse's iPhone pictures, and I was actually quite impressed with them.
They do
I'm
very well.
only able to surpass them now with some of my newer equipment. So.
So, Katie, was there anything on the subject of iPhone photos? I know that's kind of one of your favorite tools. You also have another camera as well. What's your kind of favorite thing about the iPhone camera? We'll start with.
Well, I like having my iPhone around with me because, you know, it's my phone. So if I'm out somewhere where obviously I'm not going to take my my Nikon with me everywhere, but you know, the iPhone is great. It's a great tool. So if you're out somewhere and you see some great weather or great nature shot, you know, you can just take it out, and you know, it's a great little camera, 8 megapixels. And it's detailed enough to take some really nice photographs that are worth posting, and it's convenient, and yeah, the only thing that I wish was a little better about the iPhone camera is just optical zoom is not great, but everything else is great. And when I get out to take some more professional shots, then I'll take my Nikon D3200 out, and I believe that it is 18 megapixels and takes 1080p video. So those are the two cameras that I use.
Not bad. Actually, what version of the iPhone are you using? Because from what I've been hearing, I don't know from personal experience, but the iPhone 5 seems to have an issue with the camera. If you're aimed at a bright light source, like the sun is on the side, you're getting a purple hue in the picture. And the 4S and the 4 weren't having that problem. They're actually producing better pictures from my experience, what I've seen online. Has that been your situation, or which iPhone are you using?
I have the iPhone 4S. I haven't had that problem, but except one day last summer, it was really strange. I was out taking a few shots before I got my Nikon camera, and all of a sudden it stopped filtering green, and my camera was taking all pink and purple pictures. I'm not really sure what happened. Sometimes that's one thing that does. Sometimes I'll be taking pictures and the camera will like glitch out, or I don't really know what's going on. But sometimes I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but one time it stopped filtering green and all my pictures turned out pink. But when I'm in direct sunlight, I haven't had that problem, no.
Do you think that would be a hardware issue, like with the camera itself, or do you think that would be more with the actual software on the phone?
I think, you know what, it might be software, because it was only that one day. I'm not really sure. I rebooted my phone and everything was fine, but it was strange.
When you're running your iPhone, are you manually setting up your settings, like the ISO and do you have the ability to set the shutter speed and all that, or are you just running off of like the auto settings? Because sometimes the auto settings seem to mess up a lot even on my better cameras.
Yeah, that's true. When I'm using my iPhone, I just use the auto settings. When I use my better camera, then I manually set my settings.
Okay.
As do I. I use the auto settings.
Yeah, I've been trying to move away personally from the auto settings because I realize sometimes I really like set the ISO high, which gives you a lot of grain in your picture. And some of the better settings for a lot of these storms is I like to set the f-stop to about 3.5, and then I like to set the shutter speed to about somewhere around 125. That seems to be a good setting for me if I'm taking pictures. If I'm doing the video on my new camera, it does the settings automatically, but it seems to do a pretty good job of it. So I haven't had too much issue with that. And the screen grabs from it actually come out decent. They're 720p, so that's on the Polaroid that I just recently purchased.
Cool. Well, was there any other things you guys wanted to ask each other or bring up?
Yeah, Katie, how long have you been into like taking pictures of nature and storms and all that?
Well, when I first got my iPhone is when I really started taking pictures. It was a hobby, and it became, sort of a passion. So recently I bought myself a Nikon D3200, which really takes great pictures. But I'd say about 2 years I've been really into it, and if there's ever a good storm, or even just going out on a sunny day to take pictures of trees or snow or whatever it may be.
It sounds like a really weird thing that we go out to take pictures of trees and snow, but we have enough of it in Saskatchewan that that's really all we can do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a couple of years I've been doing it, and it started out as a hobby, and it's really sort of a passion now. So whenever I get the chance, I like to go out, and even on really cold days, I brave the cold and go out and take a few nice shots.
That's cool because I like the pictures that you post on your Twitter account. They come out really well. Pretty cool. I was wondering if you had like your own website started, or do you do it all on Facebook or something?
I don't have my own website. I have Instagram, but I'm going to actually be putting some of my pictures up on Josh's website soon. So
Yeah, that's
hopefully.
my bad. I've been distracted with a lot of other stuff on the website, and actually, she's also going to be writing for the Saskatchewan Weather blog, starting very soon as well. So hopefully, we'll see some of her photos through there too. But
Nice.
Yeah, very cool, man. So yeah, hats off to Katie. You're doing great
sweet.
work. I can't wait to see what your future holds with that. It's really cool.
Thank you.
So, anything else you guys wanted to bring up? I just wanted to mention that in the coming weeks, we're hoping to have Sean Schofer from Tornado Videos, or for TV and Weather.com, on probably end of March. We're aiming for to just actually fill us in on what's going on with Dominator 3 that's currently under destruction. You can follow him on Twitter at Sean Schofer TVN. Currently under construction in Michigan. And that's going to be out on the plains in early April, I think, is their plan. So looking forward to talking to him about that. Do you guys want to be in on that call?
For sure.
Oh, I'd love to be there.
I would
Sean
love to,
Schofer?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I'll sign you guys up.
Yeah, totally. He does great work, and he's got he's doing the first response thing, which is really cool. He's a certified firefighter, paramedic, and whatnot. And I know his plan is to bring along a first response stuff, which I think is really cool. And yeah, that'd be great to talk to him, because we kind of got the same idea going, So hats off to him. He's a good chaser for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, another guys talking about snow on the live chat. Talking about that. There's a lot of snow actually in Ontario too, and that's actually a good point. We had how many weeks ago was that, Katie? Maybe you remember better than I do. In the Maritimes.
It must have been at least 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'd say about 4 weeks ago there was
just a huge dumping of snow in like Nova Scotia area and such, and we can see pretty big blizzards here, but there is the odd time that is in Nova Scotia when they get snow, they get a lot of it, and so we've been pretty fortunate the last few weeks here. We haven't seen a whole lot of the snow, but we've continued to have blowing snow and stuff like that, and this is the most snow I think that we've had in many years for sure.
For sure.
So for you guys, like Jesse and Ethan, where you guys are, is snow kind of a rare occurrence? I'm not too familiar with this, but
well, in Maryland is actually where I'm at right now because I'm in college. I haven't seen much snow, really. I've seen a couple inches here and there, but then it's either gone the next day or gone in a few days. Just mostly rain for now on. It looks like it looks like the temperatures are going to stay above 32 degrees the next week and a half.
Yeah, that for us, we're kind of in that same range, I think. Which has been kind of weird. We had the thing for anybody who's not kind of familiar with the weather that we've had in the Regina area the last few weeks. It's been cold for 2 or 3 days, including wind chill warnings. Then the next day it's warm, and we had a huge dumping of snow and blowing snow, and then it freezes right off again. And so this is we finally had a little bit of a leveling off period, I think, and hopefully it'll stay the same. But
yeah, here in like Northeast Illinois, we haven't We haven't had much snow.
Sorry.
It's been quite a quiet year. Again, kind of like last year, But we're looking at Monday as potentially bringing like 5 to 8 inches or something. Roughly looking at a computer model 24 hours ago. I'm kind of jet lagged right now, so bear with me. But,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Monday looks to be the biggest snowstorm for the Chicago area this season. But it also looks pretty good to go chasing Alabama, Georgia, Florida regions. So maybe if we can get enough money together, we'll just get out of here and avoid that whole situation.
Yeah, I don't really blame you. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining us tonight. We had a little bit of a tough start there at the beginning, but we finally got it going. Thanks to everybody for watching and all your great questions and interacting with us on the live chat. If you missed any part of it, or if you got disconnected at some point for whatever reason, we will have the recording of it up on YouTube later on tonight, hopefully, and I'll tweet the link and post that on the website as well. And you can also check out our blog, which is getting a little bit of a makeover as well, saskatchewanweather.blogspot.ca. And somebody just said on the live chat, totally not part of this convo, but there's a moose outside my house.
I saw that.
So,
alrighty then.
Yeah, Ethan, what are you doing? Yeah. So Cooler 260, if you can tweet me a photo, I'll retweet it. Get up and go get a photo. We want to see the moose.
Yes, tweet it.
We'll stay on the air until you get a photo. Okay? Go get the photo. So yeah, so okay, he's going to get a photo now. Just don't get antlers up your butt, somebody said.
Oh. Be careful.
Yes, don't take any unnecessary risks for us.
Alright, guys, if you don't mind, I'd like to plug a couple things. If you want to check out some of my stuff, my main area of expertise is programming. I just got into the photography stuff. If you want to check out some of my stuff, you can go to youtube.com/aztecgames, AZTECGAMES, or you can find me on Twitter at Aztec Games Indie, and then you can talk to me on there that way.
Awesome.
If you look on the YouTube site, you can see some of the 3D videos. If you go to the storm chasing section, I have a lot of game videos on there. But if you go to the playlist, there's a storm section. You can see some of the 3D videos. I have a 23-minute video of some of the stuff we captured last year. We have shelf clouds, dissipating wall clouds.
Wall clouds.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of stuff up there. So that's not on Jesse's site yet. So if you want to check that out, you can go to that on YouTube.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm gonna go have to check that out. You can go.
For those of you with TVs and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Actually, speaking of ATVs, I had this story just come to mind one time. This was a few years ago, actually, and I was out quadding with my father, actually, and we went out quadding near Fort Capel together, and we were out kind of on the grid roads. It was just the two of us, each on our own quads, and we're driving along, and we start to see this big thunderstorm it was a really hot day, and everything was just convecting really perfectly over top of this lake, and the storms, the tops are just exploding up. The storms looking really intense, and we keep driving towards it basically, and then we start to turn around, and it starts to rain. We eventually turn around. We had to blast it back to our friend's farm, and basically sit out the rest of the storm in his in his quad sit. So that was kind of a wild experience on quadding. Kind of my what I would call my quadding storm chase experience.
Nice.
I wish I had a GoPro with me that day.
Yeah, GoPros are pretty awesome for quad stuff and just being out in the elements like that.
And oh, and welcome to Phil Skinner, I believe, who's just on the chat now too.
Well, hello, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Phil's wondering if you missed a lot, and somebody said, unfortunately, yes. It's JC Storm Chaser who said that. Coolark260 says it's the picture of the moose is on his Twitter. So I gotta look him up here.
We got Phil Skinner on with us
Oh,
now.
I see it. I'll retweet it.
You see it? Okay, retweet it because I'm slow here. Okay, here's the photo. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to try and get it up on the live stream here in a second. That is a crazy photo there, Cody. Thanks to Cody Wells for tweeting that. Wow.
I want to see it. Where is it?
Hold on. I just retweeted it, so you should be able to
Yeah,
get...
so did I.
That's a very great moose. You weren't kidding.
That's actually one of the most close-up photos I've ever seen. Look, that's right in the backyard. My goodness.
That's a cool moose.
My dad has been dreaming of seeing a moose, and he's never saw one.
He's never seen me. Actually, last night I was driving home, and I decided to take kind of the back way to my house, and I don't usually go that way, but I went in. I go past this road, and I look over on my left, and there's these 8, like it's pitch black out basically, and there's these 8 kind of dark shadows in the field on the left, and I'm thinking, I've never seen horses in that field before. They're too small to be horses. They're way too small to be horses as it is. So I'm thinking. Then I realized, oh wait, those are deer standing in the field. And around here, we haven't actually seen a whole lot of deer all this winter. I actually got a video of 4 of them not far from where I live also earlier this year, which is on my YouTube channel. But yeah, it's pitch black. I tried to stop and get a photo of them. It's too dark. I was trying to, fortunately didn't really turn out. But yeah, that was quite a sight to see 8 deer just standing in the field, and they didn't even move when I came along. So yeah.
It's pretty neat. When I see a deer, I usually either go to it and start yelling at it, and then it either moves, or I just sit there and stare at it for a little while and take pictures.
You say, hey, dude, get out of my way.
It's just like my mom. My mom always yells at every animal we see, so I have to yell at them. It's natural.
That's awesome.
So here's the photo of the moose for those of you who aren't on Twitter. It's on the live
for
stream
those
right
of you with moose, be careful because they will wreck your car.
Are you speaking from experience?
No, just from stories I've heard and from some Canadian friends, and yeah.
Yeah, wow. It's actually next door to Cody Wells' house, so that's a great photo. So yeah, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Or Phil, any questions you want to bring up here? Just submit them on the chat here, and I'll bring them up. yeah, thanks to everybody for watching, and thanks to Cody Wells for sending in the photo of the moose. That just
For sure.
that just made the title. That just gave me the title for this podcast on YouTube. So
The perfect title.
Go
Perfect
Moose!
all right, thanks a lot, guys, for talking to us tonight, and we'll have to do it again sometime. And for more, just check out for more previous podcasts, you can check out the archive on saskatchewanweather.ca/podcast. And yeah, thanks. Sorry to JC Storm Chaser for had a few internet connection problems with him. We'll try and get him maybe on for next week. We're not totally sure whether we'll be having one next week or not, but we'll keep you posted on that. We're at the very least committed to being a bi-weekly show, so we'll keep that going as well. Jesse, Phil has a question for you. Wondering how you're feeling after the lawn haul.
Yeah, I'm 32 now. It's not like I was 22. That's for sure. I feel pretty hardcore beat up, to be honest with you.
I'm with you, brother.
Yeah. I feel a little jet lagged. I think it was 17 hours straight down and back. We took our time. We documented some pictures from the Yazoo City tornado back in 2010 that crossed I-55. And so if you go to my Facebook page, it's facebook.com/JW Severe Weather. You can see those pictures, and it's pretty cool to see, still, the tree damage that occurred there, and the debarking of the trees even, and just the swath of it, the width of it, I can't imagine driving down the expressway and all of a sudden, seeing something like that occur. But yeah, we definitely made the most of it. But yeah, it's a hard drive, guys. It's not like going out to the west. It's a little bit longer than usual, so it definitely takes a toll on your body. But we enjoyed it for sure. It was worth every mile. So
missing Louisiana, 70 degrees was much nicer than this weather.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just heard a car alarm going off in the background on somebody's feed, so that's another breaking news story on our podcast.
Oh, that's us.
That's my chase vehicle. Somebody thought they would be smart, but good luck to them.
All right,
send the Team Ninjas out right now.
We'll send the moose after them. Okay.
We don't need the cops. We got ninjas.
All right, thanks a lot, guys, and thanks to everybody for watching. Have a great night, and Jesse, just giving a big shout out to you and your team for the hard work you put in on Thursday, and and to Josh on the live chat. No problem. Sorry about the connection there. We're gonna have that worked out for next week, and we'll have him on the show. And So and if anybody else watching, if you're a lover of weather and photography, and you want to chat about that and share some of your experiences, we'd love to have you on. Just email us at saskatchewanweather@gmail.com. I'm getting a little loopy here. I haven't actually had supper yet, so I'm gonna go eat now. So
Me too.
all right, guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having me
see
on,
ya.
Josh.
All right, good talking with you guys.
Take
You
care,
too.
guys.
Bye. All right, so thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and definitely, and yeah, thanks to Cody, who's gonna tune in next week. Cody, we'll have to maybe have you on the show sometime as well, and thanks for sending in the photo of the moose. And if you missed, and Phil, if you missed any of it, I'll definitely tweet you the link to the recording later on tonight. All right, that does it for this edition of the Saskatchewan Weather Podcast. I'm Joshua Zorn. Have a great night, everybody.